back to another episode of TPC. We're going to be talking about the NFL Week 6 predictions. Let's start with the early morning game right here. Broncos versus New York in London. Yes, in London. Jets are 0-5. They're trying to get their first win. Denver's on a hot roll right now. You know, could honestly be has one loss this season. If anything, you look at their stretch. I mean, just coming off a win, coming back against Philadelphia last week. You look at their stretch. Both their games, the two losses they have this year, going to game-winning field goals to the Chargers and the Colts. This Broncos team is very consistent, dude. This defense is really good. Nick Boninitz has been very solid. Bo Nix has been really good, too. Corn Sutton's been really good also in this offense. And, J.K. Dobbins has been a solid running back with Harvey also in that back room. I mean, this Broncos team is going to be a wild card team. Like, I believe that Sean Payton has flipped the script of this team. They're going to be a winning team. They're a winning. Denver's here to come. That's all I got to say. With the Bo Nix, Sean Payton era they're going to win a lot of games, I got to say. And I really like where Denver's going. I mean, this team is very consistent. I mean, you look at their stats right now for the season, where they're at as a team. I mean, Bo Nix is very solid this year. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, he's been solid. J.K. Dobbins, 400 yards with the rookie. Also, R.G. Harvey right next to him. Cortland Sutton's been solid also. Troy Franklin, former Oregon receiver from Bo Nix's school also. I mean, this is a very solid team. They're averaging 23 points right now, 16. They're only allowing 16 points right now this year. Only a total of 6 touchdowns this year in the 6 games right now. And it's very solid. And I'm very impressed by Denver's games right now. And I think Denver should win this game against the Jets. But the thing about the Jets, they're trying to fight for anything, dude. It is really the Garrett Wilson show with this team. I mean, they're penalized. They're the most penalized team, I believe, right now, and they just can't get anything going until the second half. And just when it's garbage time, Justin Fields goes off pretty much. But in the first half, he looks insanely terrible. I don't know what's going on with that. They'll figure it out, hopefully. But I think there are talks right now if this is going to be a one-year done thing. Like Aaron Glenn's era is done after this year. And if it is, I'm going to be very kind of upset because I do think Aaron Glenn's a good coach. It's just like, the Jets are just such a cursed organization. I mean, it's like the Jets are always going to suck. I don't know why. It's just how it is. But I think they lose this game going 0-6, and I think they're going to definitely think about drafting a quarterback. I'm sorry. The Justin Fields era has been not the best right now. But Justin Fields has been solid, though. You know what's crazy? He hasn't forced an interception. He's the, 300 snaps, I believe, right now. He's the only quarterback has not thrown an interception yet, I believe that, if I'm correct. But, I mean, he's been solid. He's just not, it's right now it's just his O-line, penalized, fumbles for his running backs. It's just not looking good. But at least Garrett Wilson's good, too, for anything. Going to another game, to the 12 o'clock games. Let me see. 12 o'clock games. You got Colts versus Cardinals. The Colts are coming off, a big win. I'm trying to remember who they played last week. Who is it? The Raiders. Destroyed the Raiders 40-6. That was pretty much a blitzman because Geno Smith threw, I think 2 picks in that game. At least Jinty went off for the Raiders. But Daniel Jones has been, pretty crazy. Indiana Jones. It's kind of funny. But this Colts team's solid. Like, them and the Jags are going back and forth the division. It's kind of crazy. They don't even play until later this year. And it's a very solid team, the Colts. I mean, DeForest Bunker, also Kenny Moore. They restructured his contract a couple days ago, so there's talks about that they maybe make a move, or sign someone again. Maybe they re-sign Daniel Jones to an early contract. I don't know. We'll see, though. But, Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones has been the workhorse for this team right now, especially Jonathan Taylor with 3 touchdowns last week and I think around 100 yards from scrimmage also. And then Tyler Warren's been a very good rookie this year for them this year. So, I mean, they're 4th in passing, 9th in rushing, 2nd in points right now, and 3rd in points against them. So they're one of the top teams in the AFC right now. And it's kind of funny how I always had faith in the Colts. After the Andrew Luck, I will always preach this as an NFL person. They would have went to the Super Bowl that year. I think if Andrew Luck played that year, I think they would have went to the Super Bowl because that team was so good. And it's been the same team every year since Andrew Luck retired almost. I mean, you added additions, of course, to DeForest Bunker, Stewart, and other rookies, of course, Michael Pittman. But, this has been the Hargrave team of, the O-line's been consistent. Jonathan Taylor's been consistent. They had the weapons. It's just they need the quarterback, and Daniel Jones has been phenomenal for this team, and I do think the Colts are going to be a wildcard team if they just stay consistent. If Daniel Jones continues playing this ball, I do think they'll become a wildcard team this year. Maybe win the division. We'll see what later this year. But the Cardinals, though, they shot themselves in the foot so many times. They were up 21-6 against the Titans last week, and they choked that, and it was 2 fumbles. The fumble Ruski, the interception, and then Mario Ducote, the running back, number 31, he threw it behind his back or flicked it in the air and then fumbled, and they could have been up 28-6. but they lost that game, and it's pretty pathetic, if I have to say. And I do not know how it's working. I mean, this team is so solid right now. I mean, not solid, the Cardinals are. I mean, 3 straight losses. They were 2-0 right now. But you look at their losses, 49ers game-winning field goal. Seattle game-winning field goal. Tennessee game-winning field goal. So it's kind of funny how every game's been a game-winning field goal. I am not going to say, like, it's just their luck and their choking ability, and they can't finish games out. And this team is good. I do think the defense is one of the best in the league. Top 15, I believe. I think they're 4th against points right now. Yeah, 19 points right now. But the offense has been very pathetic, if I had to say, because I mean, this offense coordinator, he has to go. I forgot what his name is. He's been terrible. Every Arizona fan is calling for his name to get fired. They hate him. He's been terrible in this offense. They don't have an identity with the run game. No James Conner, torn his ACL, and it's just, and Trey Benson's out now too. So it's no identity. And Kyler Murray is going to be the leading rusher for this team. And Kyler Murray is getting older. He's about to be 28, 27 now. I mean, you can't rely on his legs for too long, but I know that's what it coming in for that Kyler Murray is just, his feet was a big valuable. But Marvin Harrison is getting better also for this offense than Trey McBride. So the Cardinals are a good team. It's just they're not lucky. That's all I gotta say. They gotta fix some situations. I do think this game's gonna be good, very underrated, but I think the Colts win this game. They're favored 9.5 though. Miami versus Chargers, 2 former quarterbacks from the 2020 draft class. It's a lot of history between these teams. Justin Herbert, Tua. This game is like Miami had the game against Carolina last week. They were up big time and they choked it. Losing to Carolina, Bryce Young and those guys in Carolina. And the offense looked good. Jalen Waddle was good. Waller's good. A-Chain looks good. I mean, everything looked good for this team. It's just they choked. And I'm very disappointed in this Dolphins team. And Mike McDaniel's upset big time with this team because he really thought they were going to win this game and build momentum. They could have been 2-3 right now, but they're 1-4 now. And now you're playing the Chargers that are spiraling a little bit. 2 straight losses, losing to NFC East opponents. Commanders last week, the Kroenke show, losing to Jackson Dart and the Giants. I mean, injuries are hitting this team badly right now. The Chargers are falling apart, and I just really wanted this team to be good. I really thought they were going to win the division. No, I didn't say they were going to win the division. I really think they were going to be a wild card team. But the injuries are kind of holding this team back. Also, Hampton's hurt now. At least the positive is Quentin Johnston's catching the ball. If I got to say, he's doing his job, catching the ball. But, Justin Herbert can't do anything with his O-line doing this, man. It's like kind of like Joe Burrow's situation. He's running for his life pretty much, and Justin Herbert's trying to make plays right now for his team. It's just there's no hope for them. And injuries are hitting this team badly right now, to the point they had to make a trade for Adolph Omi, if I can say his name right, from the Ravens, and they traded away their safety, Gilman. So, both those teams, Harbaugh brothers, training a little bit, kind of like that, but they made moves. They're trying to think. Khalil Mack is out for a while, too, so they're trying to get this team going still. They don't want to, the season's cooked after this. I mean, this team was 3-0, now they lost 2 straight, and they lose 3 straight. It's fires in LA right now for this team, for the Chargers. But if Miami wins this game, it'll be interesting. But I'm going to take Dolphins in this game. I think Tua and the boys are going to bounce back for right now. They should have won this game. They've been too many close games this year for them. If I had to just Tua, I think will show up in this game, because you look at these games. I mean, they almost came back against the Bills, beat the Jets, choked the Panthers, almost beat Patriots, but got blown up by the Colts. And the Colts are really good now. So I mean, this team's good. The defense is getting better. I have to say this. I mean, the defense is forcing turnovers, but they choked the game last week, if I had to say that. So they just got to be not comfortable. They can get a lead, they just can't be comfortable. That's my biggest thing for the Dolphins. And I think they, slack down, and I think they're not going to mess around this week, if I had to say. So Dolphins win this game against Chargers, and the Chargers are still falling off a little bit. New Orleans versus New England. Spencer Rattler's been really good for the Saints. That's the biggest factor I got to say right now for this team. And I'm going to hit on the Patriots for a little bit in a second. But, I mean, New Orleans is not a bad. They're not terrible. They got a win over the Giants last week, forcing 5 turnovers against them, and Jackson Dart and those boys. And Spencer Rattler had a solid game also against them. I mean, he has 900 yards with a 68 QBR. Nothing too crazy. I believe the stats. What was his stats right now? Yeah, 10 completions, 225 yards with the touchdown, with a deep one to Rashid Shaheed, if I can say his name right, the one of the receivers for this team. I mean, the Saints, we know what they're going to do. They're going to draft a quarterback this offseason. This offseason, head in an NFL draft or sign a quarterback. But Spencer Rattler, he's doing his job. He's doing solid. He's being a decent quarterback. I do think he's accountable to be a good backup for a team. He could be a starter if he keeps working on his mechanics a little bit. But he's been solid for this team, I have to say. And I'm really proud about him because I really think everyone harped on this team to be terrible. And I think they've been very good. But the thing is, they're going to trade away Alvin Kamara this season. We know that, and maybe Kansas, maybe the Bears, we'll see, because it's going to be the Miller show. Kendall Miller from TCU has been the leading carry for this team, but Alvin Kamara still being like a good passing catcher for the running back. But I think it's going to be, we kind of see what's going on. They're trying to fit Miller in this offense to see where it's going, and then trade Alvin Kamara because the New Orleans era is done. But going to New England, getting the win Sunday night against the Bills, you go into Buffalo and you win that game. Drake May had a solid game. Stephon Diggs went off his revenge game. Both those guys went off. The turnovers a little bit. They don't have a run game. They got to get the ball to Henderson. I know Stevenson had 2 touchdowns, but it was at the goal line with 7 carries. That is whatever. Give the ball to Henderson. I know Mike McDaniels just likes a running back committee. That's always has been like that since being in New England. He's never had a top running back except LeGarrette Blount. So I think Drake May and Stephon Diggs continue building chemistry. You still have Hunter Henry also, and the other guy from LSU, Kenan Bolton, I say his name right, or Booty, but he's been solid also with that. But like Drake May's the real deal, and it's kind of fun. I saw a TikTok today like Jackson Dart and Drake May are the next like a reincarnation of Tom Brady and Eli Manning. And it's like whatever, we're gonna see another battle, but it's kind of funny. But Drake May's been very solid. I do think we got to start thinking about Drake May as a top 10 quarterback or top 15 because he has to be in his name. He's been very solid, consistent, leading the past games. I mean, he's been. If I had to say right now, he's right there with the top quarterbacks. 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 67 QBR. Tied 7th in passing yards, averaging right now 240, but there's no run game. They're only averaging 95. You got to get a run game, if anything, because the defense are going to be like, okay, they know only pass the ball. Let's just, back in, back out the boxes and see what's going on. Put pressure on Drake May. And Drake May has been really good on the run, especially last week against that Bills defense. And the Bills defense got to figure things out a little bit. But if I had to say, give me New England. Another game, Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. This is the Dylan Gabriel's second game, and Myles Garrett said he needs to sack Aaron Rodgers. I don't think this is going to be competitive. Pittsburgh is fair at 6.5. I just think this Cleveland team is just ready for next year. They already traded away Greg Newsome for Tyson Campbell from the Jags a couple days ago for a couple picks, but a little swap trade. I just think the Cleveland Browns just start Shedeur, please. I just want to see Shedeur play. If he's the real deal or not, I can buy his hype or could I buy his jersey or something like that. I just want to see the Shedeur hype. Pittsburgh's been solid this game, being consistent. They're first in the division. They're going to win the division, if anything, unless Lamar Jackson just carries the Ravens from. That will harp on the Ravens in a second. But only one loss to Seattle was a blowout. But every game has been consistent, high scoring. The defense has been good. Winning that game against Minnesota was a big win for them. But I do think the Steelers. I mean, they had a bye last week also. So coming back home against Cleveland, a team I think A-Rod and the boys are going to get that chemistry keep going. I think they win this game. I think Cleveland is just getting ready for the draft and maybe draft their future quarterback, or maybe they actually play Shedeur. That's my opinion. But the thing is, the Browns also have Junkins. I think it's a Junkins show with this team. So yeah. Jags versus Seattle, very underrated game right here. Both these teams are red hot right now. Both like with only one lot. Jacksonville with first in the division a little bit, tied with the Colts right now. Getting a great win over the Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs with that Trevor Lawrence crazy touchdown a little bit. But Seattle, I mean, they had a shootout. I mean, Seattle's been very consistent there. Sam Darnold's been very solid this year for this team with right now 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Honestly, maybe up in the MVP conversation a little bit, or like in the top 10 quarterbacks right now this season, top 10 right now. So he's been consistent right now. I mean, you look at his, the past games for Seattle. I mean, losing the close games against the Niners week 1 and it came down the last seconds, but it's been very consistent for this team. And I think that close game losing to the Buccaneers, that pick that Sam Darnold threw was kind of crucial to Latavius Davis right there. The game-winning drive for a little bit. It was 35-35, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal. So the Seattle Seahawks are a good team. I think Mac McDonald's been very consistent for this team, a very good coach. Jackson Smith-Njigba has entered himself as a top 5 receiver, top 7 receiver for this team, and is very, very consistent for them. I mean, they're top 5 in passing right now, points forced also, and it's 21st. Top 5, yeah, and then tied for top 10 almost for points allowed. So, and the run game has been very mysterious because they've been back and forth with Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker has a great game, or they're going to give it the Charbonnet game. It's really back and forth right now, and it's been very solid for this team. And I'm very impressed with their efforts right now. But you go to The Jags, the defense has been good. Trevor Lawrence is playing really good. The only thing is turnovers is my biggest issue with Trevor because he does throw Stevies. I know last week, that one was a PI, one of anything, but his turnovers are getting that. I don't know. But last week he looked like a college him, honestly. Like he ran the ball a little better. He was consistent. The Trevor Etienne has been very good too. Brian Thompson, him are actually getting chemistry. Brian Thompson, him, and Travis Hunter got a crazy catch too. So, and Devin Lloyd, honestly, for the Jags, he's the defense player of the year so far, averaging a pick a game, 2 picks, 4 interceptions right now this season. He's right now on track to have 14 interceptions right now. So he's been consistent, man. I'm really proud right here. And he was on. They declined his 5th-year option, so they gotta pay this guy big money. So it's kind of interesting though. He wasn't even supposed to be on the starting role, but I'm very proud about Devin Lloyd right now. So yeah, and this is a close game. I mean, the Jags are not even favored at home. It's Seattle's favored by 1.5. I think the Jags continue this road. I do think Trevor Lawrence is getting better. Brian Thompson, him, is getting better. And Travis Hunter is getting more adapting to playing both ways. He had a solid game against the Chiefs last week, but more of an offensive side of anything. So give me the Jags this week. Baltimore versus Rams. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just saying the Rams. Baltimore practice squad is out there right now. Cooper Rush again, Derrick Henry. Yeah, just get the practice squad out there. The defense is terrible. No Roquan, no Marlon Humphrey, no Mabuke. It's just scary for next season, Ravens. I'm sorry, Ravens fans. It's 5-11, 5-12, 7-10 this year, unless Lamar Jackson turns the season and insanely good. And Rams are going to figure out and win this game. I mean, they had a close game against the Niners last Thursday, so I'm not going to harp on them, and I think they're going to win this game big time. So give me the Rams in the favorite 6.5. Cowboys, Carolina. Rico Dallas said this a couple days ago. He said he's going to get ready, buckle up. Buckle up, Dallas, pretty much. Dallas is only favorite 2.5 in this game, and they're coming off a great win over 2-3, coming off a great win, against the Dolphins last week, a comeback win. And Bryce Young's been very consistent. The defense has been very solid. Him and T-Mac have been building that chemistry. But Bryce Young, my biggest harp is this game should be Bryce Young's great game because the Cowboys D-line gives a lot of time to these quarterbacks to throw the ball, unless James Houston does the slow spin moves and all that kind of things, But yeah, if Bryce Young does not have a perfect pocket, I think he's going to have a bad day. He's 0-2, I think, against the Cowboys, and pretty much passes his 2 seasons he's played the Cowboys, and he's got killed. Cowboys are averaging 31 points against him with even Dak and Cooper Rush last year. So yeah, it's like I'm not gonna say Carolina sucks, and I know Chuba's not playing this game, and it's gonna be Rico just getting a revenge game. Yeah. But usually running backs for the Cowboys facing their former team does not do anything. Prime example to Marco Murray, 2015, and Zeke Elliott versus that. So it's not the best when they play their former team. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. But the Cowboys, though, they're getting it, coming off a great win against the New York Jets. Their offense looked good. Dak looked good. Still no CD this week. A couple players are still, coming off a little bit. Tyler Smith, I think Tyler Guy both could play this week also. So Dak Prescott's playing MVP level. That's my best thing I got to say right now. He's looking the best version he's been. Better than 23, if I had to say right now. George Pickens and him are building that chemistry. Jake Ferguson is looking like a top 5 tight end this year. Got 2 tutties last week. So the offense is getting good. And that is scary. And Javonte Williams, I'm going to preach this right now. Javonte Williams is 2.0 Marshawn Lynch. Come at me, I don't care. He's 2.0 Marshawn Lynch. And look at his career, the same exact career stats, not career stats, but career-wise. 4 years at a team, mediocre and all this shit. Signed with a new team. Marshawn got traded to Seattle for a pick or a player. Javonte Williams went to the Cowboys, signed him for 1 year, and he's been different makers right now for this next team. So I'm really proud of Javonte Williams, and he's been the lead horse. They did lose Miles Sanders this a couple days ago. Said he's torn his ACL. He's out for the year. So the Jalen Blue show is going to be good, and that combination of Jalen Blue and Javonte Williams is going to be insane. I love that combination right now for the backfield. A power back and then more of a speed back. Whoo, it's going to be dangerous for the Cowboys. I'm about to say that. But if I had to say right now, my prediction, I do think the Cowboys win this game. I think they can stay consistent, and the Cowboys will, move up to 3-2 and 1. So I am very proud to say the Cowboys are going to win this game. So headed to the 3:00 games, Titans versus Las Vegas. So Geno Smith is terrible. I got to say that he's on track to have 30 plus interceptions this year, 9 interceptions right now in the season. It's very bad. The O-line sucks. No Brock Bowers. And another game, no Brock Bowers. Genty's doing better, though. That's the one positive thing. Switched his old backfield stance, so at least that's getting better. Cam Moore got his first win last week after saying this team is booty. So, I mean, both these teams are bad on paper. I do think Cam Ward's a better quarterback than Geno Smith, I have to say. So I do think I'm going to take the Titans in this game. I have to say that right now. I just don't trust the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders are a good team right now. And Geno Smith is playing bad football unless the Raiders somehow come out and win this game. So I don't know. The O-line's too bad for me. And this D-line for the Tennessee Titans is not bad at all. So give me the Titans, and I think Titans win. It's kind of crazy. Raiders are fair, 3.5 also. Now, this is a funny game to me. Green Bay versus Cincinnati. Joe Flacco is the quarterback for this game. And it's kind of funny. Joe Flacco beat Green Bay a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And the same thing happened. Packers are favorite 13.5. Packers are favorite 13.5 versus Cleveland. If Joe Flacco beats Green Bay, everyone trades for just trade for Joe Flacco. Everyone trade for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco knows how to beat the Green Bay Packers. I don't know. Jamar Chase will play in this game also. A couple days ago, he was sick with the illness, but he did say he's playing tomorrow, so it should be very interesting with that. Or today. So, that's how I got to say. And, I mean, Cincy with Jake Browning took it to butt hurt a little bit, saying, like, oh, I should be a starting quarterback. I should be the guy and all that. Dude, they're 0-3 with these guys. These guys were 2-0, looking red hot after Joe Burrow got hurt. You're the reason why this team sucks. I'm sorry. I know the O-line sucks, but I don't trust the 41-old quarterback either, Joe Flacco running out there. But I think Joe Flacco gives this team a better chance, especially with the weapons this team has with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. There's no run game, though. That's the one bad thing. Chase Brown's been terrible for this team. But at least the pass game's good. And the defense has been very decent. And there's been talk about Trey Hendricks going to the Niners, Cowboys. It's just been everywhere for the Bengals a little bit. But, so Green Bay, though, Green Bay's good. Michael Parsons, they're coming off a bye also after the tie against Cowboys. It's a little surprising with this. I mean, this team got exposed back-to-back weeks, so I just can they get back to normal? Can they get back to normal football? I mean, we saw 2 games after that. Jordan Love looked terrible. Jordan Love looked good, but that's Cowboys defense. Defense looked great. Defense looked terrible against Cowboys. So it's so flippy-floppy, if I have to say, with the Packers. If they lose to the Bengals, not in the season, but you're nothing, bud. I'm sorry. The Packers are overrated. We shouldn't have harped on them. It's kind of funny. After saying we're 3-0, we're going, like the one guy said, we're going to stay undefeated. One of their linemen, Walker, and lost, tie. So it's kind of funny. I'm going to take the underdogs in this game. I think Joe Flacco and the boys do it. I'm going to take it. I'm bold. I don't care. Come at me, but I'm going to take Joe Flacco and the boys. So, yeah. Jamar Chase is going to go off also. Another game. The game of the week. You got Buccaneers versus Niners. Tampa Bay is looking really good. Right now, I saw a stat. Baker Mayfield is on projection of the season to average 14 game-winning drives. It's kind of crazy. He has 14. He has almost had game-winning drives every single game. Even the Philly game was almost a game-winning drive. He just threw a pick in the own zone. So, it's so interesting how Baker Mayfield's playing. He's honestly my MVP favorite with him and Dak right there, back and forth. Daniel Jones is up there too. Those three, kind of crazy to say that. I would never thought I would say that at the same time. But it's very impressive, if I had to say that about this team. And the Buccaneers, I mean, this team is led by Emeka Egbuka with no Mike Evans for a while, and Chris Godwin is back. So, and Bucky Irvin is not playing this game, so it's another Rashid White game. So, yeah. It's going to be a close game. I mean, Mac Jones is playing great ball right now, and I will harp on this still to this day. Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Come at me. And you think it's Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft Mac Jones over Trey Lance back in 21, but the team didn't want to. The ownership just said, Trey Lance is the guy. The ceiling's better. He's like a Patty Mahomes thing. The guy is on his third team right now. So, yeah. But Mac Jones is on his third team, too. But he's back on the Niners, though, so it's a whole different conversation. But Mac Jones is undefeated as quarterback, and he is literally carrying this team on offense with no offense of no Ricky, no Ayuk, no Kittle, no nothing. It's just Seamus and Kendrick Bourne. And Kendrick Bourne and him had that chemistry from New England, and they went off last week. Kendrick Bourne had 100-plus yards, I believe, that last week. And, yeah. So, Mac Jones, this guy, when he's quarterback, he has 6 touchdowns, 1 interception right now. And he had 400 yards last week with only 49 attempts with only 33 completions, 2 touchdowns. So when he's quarterback, they win. They win games, and I think you need the winning quarterback. I know you just paid Brock Purdy, but it's through history. Jimmy G. You pay Jimmy G. You got him to a Super Bowl, do all the things, blah, blah, blah. Guess who came in? You draft Trey Lance. You still have Jimmy G on contract, blah, blah, blah. Then Trey Lance got hurt. You got a guy who's 7th round quarterback. It's just throughout history. They have always paid their quarterbacks, and they still get the better quarterback. Same with Alex Smith. They traded away Alex Smith, we paid him. Colin Kaepernick came in, boom, quarterback change. It's a different thing. The Niners do this, and the organization always do this. So, my biggest issue is the defense is not healthy. They don't have Nick, and you need pass rush. Because if you don't put pass rush, I know Alfred Collins did really good last week with the forced fumble, and you still have Bryce Huff. I know. But this offense for the Buccaneers is red hot, and I don't think they're going to stop, and I think this team is just going to get better and better every week, and I do think the Bucs are maybe my Super Bowl favorite now. I don't know. This season's been so lackluster, if I had to say. But give me the Buccaneers for this game, okay? Give me the Bucs. I know it's a big game, but yeah. Sunday Night Football. We've got KC versus Detroit. KC's coming off a loss versus the Jaguars on Monday night, so back-to-back primetime games pretty much. So, yeah. Detroit's, offense is red hot. They're insane. We thought everyone comes in. They thought, it's just the Ben Johnson show, so pretty much came in with a different rap. I mean, they're averaging right now their offense. I think they're the best offense right now this year so far. First in total points, 34 points right now. Defense has been good. 7th in rushing with Gibbs and him. I mean, they're coming off a win against the Bengals, scoring 37 points. So they're averaging almost, dude. It's just this offense is too good. Jared Goff is consistent. This Jahmyr Gibbs is consistent. Montgomery's consistent. To the point, Montgomery threw a passing touchdown last week. Understand that. And J-Dub is good. Amon's good. This offense is not going to stop. And Aiden Hutchinson is back. This team is honestly better than last year, if I had to say. That's my opinion. This offense is better. The defense is healthy. Maybe the Lions can make a Super Bowl run. It will be insane if they do. But this year, it's just like everyone is healthy so far, if I had to say. I do not know what the injury report for this team is so far this year. They don't have Tyler Decker this game. Yeah, he's not playing this game. He is out. And still questionable with Kirby and Brian Branch also. So it's been solid, if I had to say. But everyone's looking good. It's looking really solid for this team. In Detroit, if they stay healthy, they could make an NFC Championship. And that was the biggest thing about last year with the losing to the playoff game against the Commanders. The defense wasn't healthy. So if they stay healthy, they can make a run. They'll win the division. Do their part. Just stay healthy, Detroit. You have a chance. So, yeah. Chiefs, though, it's like we can't bet against Mahomes, and especially at KC. It's kind of like they played each other already, back in 23, I believe it was, or 22. I'm trying to remember. It was 2022 season is when they went. No, 2023 season. That's what it was, when the Detroit Lions play, and Lions won Thursday on opening day, so they know each other, and it's kind of crazy. Jared Goff is undefeated against Mahomes. Just saying. But so because the Jared Goff and him have played against each other, the 54-51 game, and then the Detroit game, so they have history against each other. My biggest harp right now for the Chiefs, guess who the leading rusher for this team is? It's Patrick Mahomes. You cannot have Mahomes, 30 years old, 29 years old quarterback, your leading rusher. So they better trade for Alvin Kamara or some running back. Breece Hall, you need a running game because Pacheco is not the same running back. Kareem Hunt is a great goal line back, but he's not your main guy. The thing is, they still don't have Rashid Rice. We know that. They don't have Rashid Rice. Isaiah Worthy's been consistent. Marquise Brown, had a touchdown he could have caught if he didn't turn his head. Kelsey's just out there to just have the last ride. So this team is not fully there yet, but they'll get there. I still have hope the Chiefs win the division. They find a way always. The Chiefs will always find a way. If you have Mahomes as your quarterback, you're going to find a way. That's my opinion on that. But if they drop 2-4, and you got who do you got next week after that? You got Las Vegas. 2-4 might be the most ideal thing. Honestly, I think they might lose this game. I think Jared Goff and the boys are still red hot. I think this is going to be a shootout. I do think this is going to be a close game. If Chris Jones could play some defense, it would be a different thing because that man was walking off the field after the last play against Trevor Lawrence's touchdown. So yeah. But yes, give me Detroit. I don't understand why Kansas is 2.5. I know they're home, so yeah. I am not going to talk. I'm going to talk about one Monday night game because there will be a different video about the Washington Chicago Bears if that is possible. Atlanta, we have two Monday night games. Atlanta versus Buffalo. Buffalo's coming off a loss versus the New England Patriots, and the turnover show was bad. Josh Allen and them, not their best game. If I had to say, kind of like losing their undefeated streak. So, and the Falcons, I mean, they're coming off a bye. Penix has been consistent a little bit. Hits a lackluster 3 touchdowns this year, only in one game, I believe. It was very insane a little bit. So it's been the Bijan show for the Falcons, if I have to say. And I mean, the offense is good. It's just the offense coordinator has been very meh. He was on the field last time, and it was kind of a whole different environment. So the offense got better. So it was against the Commanders though, and it was a close game. But that's my biggest issue. But the Falcons, they're a good team. It's just, can they use their weapons? I think how the Falcons are, they can beat you by air, they can beat you by ground, and if they can do that, they can be a playoff team. If they actually use their weapons, you have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, and Bijan on your team, and Tyler Algier. You have weapons for days. Use them. Let Penix go off. If you can't have identity, if you just have a run game identity, what was the point of your team? You're just like the Eagles, if anything, just a worse O-line. That's my opinion. So yeah, I want to pick the Bills in this game. But the Falcons are at home. They're both wearing their throwbacks. They're wearing the black with red helmets, the throwback. Both these teams are wearing that throwbacks to their uniforms. So it should be a good game. I just like the Bills they're good. They're solid. They're Josh Allen, the boys. The defense, though, sucks against the run, but the Falcons are really good with the run. Give me Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta. Come at me. I think the Falcons win this game. Michael Penix has a great game. The offense looks good. Everything goes well for this team. The Bills can't figure things out. Turnover issues. The James Cook and all that. The thing is that the Bills, though, offenses, it's a committee. Whoever has the hot hand goes off. Last game was Kincaid. Other game was Shakir. Shakir's been the solid guy. Other game was Kenyon Coleman. It doesn't matter. Anyone goes off for this team. That's my opinion. I think the Bills can't find a true identity of who their main pass catcher is, and it's just James Cook and Josh Allen carrying this team. But I think the Penix-led Falcons will win this game. So yeah. And the Chicago game, we'll talk about that in a separate video. So thank y'all for joining me in this episode of TPC. Like and subscribe, and see y'all next week.